Is PPT visible to all of you?
Yes, sir, it's visible, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. A very good evening to all of you, all the participants and the host of this LDP programs. So I'm Dr. Lakshmikant Pandey, and I'm here to deliver my presentation. The topic funding opportunity and proposal writing techniques. So first of all, I will be discussing about the proposal writing techniques or the method. Then I will discuss what are the funding opportunities available in the various fields like science. Science includes physical sciences, chemical sciences, life sciences, and I will also discuss the funding, the research grants available in the field of arts and the commerce. And this is all about my presentation. So the content of my presentation uh, will be introduction first of all, then key elements of the research proposal, identify the research question, types of research question, then how we can write the research proposal, that is methodology, and there are certain modern apps available for referencing. Then we will talk about the funding opportunities, as I told you, in both the field, science as well as in arts and the commerce. And then I will show you some list of research agencies which at present giving funds for the various research. Okay, so the first thing is uh, what is a research proposal, or you can say what is a good research question. So, so this research proposal basically it's a proposed research projects which includes why we are doing that particular research work. Whatever the questions we thought of in our mind. And so what we are going to do in that particular research. So that is the first thing. It's called the heading, or you can say the purpose of your research, and how you are going to do that research. It's called the methodology. And it is very important that so whatever you are proposing, whatever you want to do, or or any work for which you are looking for some funding or the grant. So it has some timeline or the time constraint. It could be of 1 year, like a small research project for 1 year, or it could be of 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. So it has their own timeline, or the you can say it's time is constrained for that particular research projects. So that is very important thing. And whatever means the purpose, or you can say the aim of your research, whatever you are proposing in your research proposal. So the first and very important thing is that you should gone through in a very extensive manner about the review of literature. Means whatever the work has been done so far in that particular area, that you should know in very well. Then only you can means thought of or look at or think of certain specific questions, or the you can say the what is the gap, research gap, that is known as research gap. What kind of a specific research gap is present, or you can see in the current scenario, present scenario in that particular area. So that is very important. And whatever you are proposing for the research grant, it should be feasible in a particular timeline, because you cannot propose something which can't be completed in a stipulated time, like 3 years or the 5 years. So it should be completed in a specific timeline or the time frame. That is very important. So these few questions you should have in your mind when you are going for proposing in your research project. Now, So, what are the key steps when you're writing any research proposal or the research project? So, there it has certain key steps. The first thing is means identify the research questions. As I told you, so whatever uh, you are proposing as a problem and or as a question. So for that, it's very important you must have gone very thoroughly, or you have examined very thoroughly the existing research on that particular topic. Then only you can identify the then only you can identify the research gaps present for that particular area or the particular topic. So the understanding of the current knowledge, that is known as the review of literature, it is very important whenever you are going to identify any sorry, any research questions or the research problem for your proposal. So that is very important thing. So you should have a very thorough understanding of your existing knowledge or the information in that particular specific area in which you are going to work for it's coming 3 to 5 years. So that is very important thing. Then after if you have selected any topic or any area or any problem, any questions for your research proposal, then we develop the methodology for that particular research proposal. So in methodology, means if if, if you means how you can collect or analyze data to answer the research question. Means if I'm working in the field of science and I propose something to like I want to develop some methodology or some kit, like if we talk about there is one kit known as the ELISA kit. It's a diagnostic kit. So if I want to develop the diagnostic kits, so for that you need to develop a protocol. It's called the SOP, Standard Operating Protocol. So what method you are going to use to perform those practicals or the work in the lab? So that you need to means uh, develop or the write in a sequential order. Is how you are going to produce that particular material. Like if I wish to develop an ELISA test for a diagnosis of any XYZ disease. So for that, sorry, what are the chemicals you will require? Like if I'm developing a ELISA kit, so for that it's very important that you should have antibodies. Like if I'm looking for the monoclonal antibodies or the polyclonal antibodies, so that you need to synthesize. So that you can synthesize in the lab, or you can commercially purchase from the companies or the vendors. So whatever the way you are going to collect those chemicals or the compounds, or you are going to purchase it or you're going to synthesize in the lab. So for that you need to develop a methodology. This is one example I have given. So depending upon the type of work you have proposed, like if you talk about like in the commerce or in the art, so you need to develop a questionnaire for getting the data from the common man or the from the audience. To get the data, you need to develop a questionnaire. So that will come under the methodology. Is how you are going to collect those the data which is required to prove your research question or to solve a research question or the problem in a very specific manner. So that is very important thing. Sorry. Now, the next that is very important thing is create a timeline in the budget. As I told you, so whatever research proposal or the research questions you have proposed, it should be completed in a given timeline. That is very important thing. It should be of 1 year, 3 years, or the 5 years, and it has their own budget, because lots of things you're going to purchase in that particular projects. It could be in the form of chemicals, or if you are collecting some samples from different locations. So you need to have you need to allocate some amount in the TA. It is called the travel allowance. Means if you are going to somewhere else and purchasing something or getting the information or getting collecting some data from other localization. So for that you need to have the TA. So you need to means bifurcate the budget. So it can be bifurcated into the consumers and the non-consumables. In this way, you can means allocate the budgets for your research proposal. So that is very important thing. Timeline and the budget. Then after that, you just write all those informations and revise it. Revise means whenever you are writing something or proposing something, so you should take some feedback from the means from the peers. If the person is the expert in that particular area, if you know some people or some person who are expert in that particular area, so it's advisable. It's very important. Whatever you are writing or proposing, it should be you should get feedback from those peers. That's very important. So these are some important steps when you are going to write any research proposals. Now, the next part is what are the key elements of the research proposals. So the first thing it's called the introduction. So whenever you're writing any research proposals, these things are very important while writing, or these sections will be there in any kind of research proposals. Along with this, some one or two may be included, but mainly these questions asked when we are going for writing any research proposal. The first thing is for the introduction. Introduction means whatever you are proposing, why you are proposing, what is the objective behind your proposal. So these things comes under the introduction. Means why you want to do this particular work? What are the benefits of doing that work, and how the outcome of that particular work is beneficial for the society, for, for the science or the arts community in the subjects. So those questions needs to be answered. Means what is the rationale of your work? So all those things will come under the introduction. So this is a very important thing that you need to address in this particular section. Then second is the sorry, literature of review. Means what is the existing research or the knowledge available to find out the research gap in that particular area, so that you need to summarize in the literature of review. So that is very important aspect or the element of the research proposal. I think it's a very most important element in the research proposals. Literature of review. You need to study very thoroughly whatever you are proposing. So the next key elements of the research proposal is the methodology. Means how you are going to collect the data and how you are going to analyze the data. What would be the sample size, and how you are going to collect data. It's called the data collection techniques, and how you are going to analyze methods. If there is any software you are going to use, any program you are going to use, or there are different types of what is called biostatics or statistical tools are available. So what kind of tools you are going to use in your research, the research proposal, to analyze the data which you are going to get after doing the particular research. So that is very important. That is called the methodology. Then timeline, as I told you, it's very important thing. Means you need to you need to designate a specific time for doing that particular work. Let's suppose I am proposing for 6 years. Let's suppose I propose any research work for 3 years. So you need to tell, means in first 6 months what you are going to do, and in another 6 months what you are going to do. So in this way, you need to design a time bar for your research proposal. You cannot say like in 2 years time I'm going to do this particular work. That is very important. That is okay, but in a means short in a very short duration, like 6 monthly, tri-monthly, in 3 months, what things you are going to do. Means This is why it is important to set a timeline to track your progress of your work. Means whether you are in the correct means track or not. So to check your progress or to see whether you are in track in proper track. For that, you need to design or specify the a particular time bar or the timeline for your research proposal. And some others, sorry, some other key elements of the research proposals are like ethical consideration. That is, sometime in some project is needed. Like if I'm working on the life science, and if I'm using certain animal experiments in my research proposals, so in that case, you need to have the ethical consideration. Like you should have a permission from the animal welfare or animal ethical committees of your means your location, your college or the institute. That's very important thing. So you should have some ethical consideration in your research proposal that you should know whether is there anything related to the ethical consideration, so that you should know and that you should clarify in the research. That is very important thing. And the next is called the budget. Budget is a very important thing. Budget should be realistic. That is very important. I'm proposing some work, and I'm proposing budget for that work which is not related or the relevant for that particular work. So it's very tough to get that proposal sanctioned for the grant. So whenever you are proposing something, any work you are proposing, so there is a relationship between the budget and the work. Yes, you should you should always propose the realistic budget for your research work. It could be plus 20%, but it's not like that. If I'm proposing something, some work, and for that I'm proposing 300% or 400% times more budgets, it is not realistic. And it's very tough that you will get that proposal sanction for the grant. That is very important. It should be realistic. And then last comes the references. So that is very important thing. Whatever the review literature publication research articles I have used in my research work, or the whatever the resources I have used, it needs to be present in the form of reference or the bibliography. Then you should cite those sources from where you get the review of literature, or how you get the ideas with that. The things comes under the reference. So these are some important key elements when you are writing any research proposal. Now, the next is some uh, uh, some some points you should keep in your mind when you are writing any research proposals. So first and very most important thing, it should be clear and concise. So whatever you are writing, it should be very in a simple words. It should not be very much complicated. So try to write in a straightforward and a very specific and a very crisp form, because whenever you are writing any research proposal, so there is a constraint of the word limit. So whatever I'm writing, so try to means specific whatever you are writing in the research proposal, and whatever I am proposing, it should be persuasive. Persuasive means whatever I am proposing, means the audience, or you can say the committee, they should get convinced whether that the work is very important. So means when the outcome of that particular work will come, then so the outcome is very important for the society, or for the subject. So the reader must be convinced with your work. You should be proposing whatever you are proposing should be proposed in that manner, in that way. So that is very important thing. Then see feedback, as I told you earlier. So whatever the peers available, or your maybe your colleagues, or your PhD guide, or your mentor, your teacher. So it is always advisable, whatever you are proposing or writing, you should get the feedback from the peers. That is very important, because when we are writing something or we are thinking something that it could be done or it has some potential. So other people, other persons, they can think that particular problem or the question in some other way, in some other directions. So you can get the other aspect of your work, or you can think of your work in some another way, which is more appropriate or more effective. So it will help your uh, proposal to get sanction from the committee when you are getting the proper feedback and you are implementing those feedback in your research proposals. And the last tips for the writing the successful research proposal is the proofread and the edit. Yeah, there should be no grammatical mistakes, spelling mistakes, or whatever mistakes you can avoid in your research proposal. That is very important because it doesn't look very good. It looks very sadly, very bad. It gives you very bad impression on the committee members who were judging your research proposal. It should be free from grammar or the spelling mistakes. So for that, what you can do, you can just uh, take the help of the person who is expert in the English. Like if I'm let's suppose that I'm working in any college, you can take the help of the English teacher or the English professor. In that way, he or she can help you to proofread that particular research proposals. So these are very important tips when you are writing something for getting funded by the external agency. Now, one by one, I will discuss about the different uh, steps for the writing the research proposals. So first and very important thing is the uh, identify the research question. So how I can identify a research question? So you can means for that you can divide your way of thinking in certain pathways. Like first thing, as I mentioned in my presentation, first of all, you identify a broad topic. Means means in what particular area you want to work. So that you need to think of. So, that how you can think of it means you can think the broad topic that you should know what is my strong point. Means if I'm working in the field of like nanotechnology or the in any specific area of the chemistry, like chemical analysis of any chemical compound. So that particular area you can choose for your research proposal. So that is very important thing. And for that, it will be very advisable or it will be very good for you if you have already done or did some small work in your lab or in your PhD work. So that area is really very suitable for you when you are proposing any research proposals. So that is very important thing. And once you means choose that specific broad topic, then you just narrow down those particular topics. Means you just start thinking in that particular area, in that broader area. What are the uh, subtopics or sub areas where there is a problem arises or problem is present, so which needs to be sorted out, and which may have a very impact on society. So in this way, you can just narrow down your topic from broader to the subtopics. And after narrowing down your broader topic, you just explore the existing literature. Again, I told you, like this is the most and important part of whenever you are proposing something. Means if you want that if, there is a chance to get the fund for that particular area, particular topic. So it's very important. You should explore the existing literature in a very effective manner, and that is very important. to find out the research gap. So that is very important thing. So what are the unanswered questions in that particular subtopic? So that needs to be explored by, uh, by you. And for that, it's very important to uh, how extensively you can study the existing literature. That is very important thing. And at last, after going thoroughly through the literature, available existing literature, you can refine your research question. So in this way, you can choose or identify the research questions or the research gaps available in a particular area. So that is very important. Now, next is the good research questions has their own few characteristics. Like as I mentioned, few of them here. Like it has the open-ended and the questionable, uncovering and revealing. It is interesting and meaningful to you and for the society, focused and the researchable, feasible and specific. We cannot propose anything which is not possible. So, you need to propose anything which is possible for your constraints. Means what are the boundaries surrounding you? So how you can do in that particular boundary. So that needs to be proposed. Let's suppose I am proposing I am working in a very small town, a very small lab is there, and I am proposing something like I want to do the study of or analyze the microorganism present in the soil of the Mars or the soil of the Moon. So these kind of work are not feasible for myself, for me. So it means everything is possible, but what are the things which is possible for you? Means what are the resources available for you, and by using those resources and what you can do, what you can achieve in a given time, so that needs to be proposed by you. You cannot propose anything. It should be specific and feasible. That is a very important thing, and should be relevant in the original. Whatever I am proposing, it should be innovative and the original. If it is innovative or the original, so there is a very good chance that you will get the fund for that particular research problem, the research person. So these are some important characteristics of the strong research question. If the question is strong or the good research, so the chances are very high for getting the fund for those. Now the next part is what are the research questions or the types of research questions. So basically, it can be classified into two categories. One is called the quantitative research question, and second is called the qualitative research question. So the quantitative research questions or the problem is mainly focused on what ideas or beliefs about a topic exist and why they exist. So these questions can be answered using data collected from the experiments of the study. This is called the quantitative. And qualitative means it's mainly understanding, focus on understanding or explaining phenomena and can be answered using data. But the data is analyzed in a way that allows for depth and meaning rather than simply quantifying and averaging data points. So, so depending upon the type of question, this can be classified into quantitative and the qualitative. Further, you can classify the quantitative and the qualitative questions in different categories. So, quantitative research questions can be categorized in three important categories. One is called the descriptive, then there is a comparative, and then there is a relationship. So, one sample question I have mentioned in my this particular presentation. You can see here. Like one question is there, how does stress affect student performance? So this is a descriptive quantitative research question. How does stress affect students' performance? Another question is attending school part-time while working full-time detrimental to student performance? So here we are comparing the two phenomena. One is the part-time job, second is called the full-time job. How these two phenomena are related. So this is called the comparative uh, research question. Then Next question is, what is the relationship between student performance and the classroom distraction? So this is the relationship question. In this way, you can think of thought of different types of research questions. It can become in different categories. So next is what are the types of the qualitative research questions? So it could be of four different types. One is called the contextual, then descriptive, evaluation. It could be of evaluation or it could be of the explanatory. So again, I mentioned one problem for each type. As you can see here, why did the new software program released by company X cause retraining issues for the employees? It's called the contextual question. The same question in a different manner, like as I mentioned here, what is the process of employee retraining when a new software program is released by the company X? So this is the descriptive question. Then another question you can ask, was the new software program released by company X effective in improving efficiency? This is called the evaluation question. And it's a qualitative. Then another question is, how can the process of employee retraining when a new software program is released by the company X be improved? This is called the explanatory question. So these are the questions you can ask when you are means, thinking of to write any research proposal. So it could be of various types. So the knowledge of the qualitative or the quantitative, and again you can think of different types of qualitative and the quantitative research questions. So the next, sorry, the next part is comes the methodology. So whenever you are writing something, uh, uh, means methods for any research question, it has some properties or some characteristics, like it should be empirical, it should be systematic, logical. You cannot write in a very generalized form. It should be specific. That's very important thing. So logical, analytical. So whatever the uh, things you are writing, it should be analytical. It should have the critical evaluation of existing knowledge. So for that, you need to have the thorough understanding of the review of literature. So empirical, systematic, logical, analytical, critical, then methodological. It should be well-defined plan and procedures for the followed. Then replicable. So whatever I'm writing something or in methods I'm designing something, so it should be replicable. It should be reproducible. Then objective with the objective, and it should be proper validated and reliability. So these are some important points when you are writing some methodology for the your research proposals. So these points you should keep in your mind. These are some important key characteristics of any good methodology protocol or the process you are writing for the research proposal. So the next part of my presentation is the referencing tools. So they are normally in older times or the previous times we manually doing the referencing. So nowadays there are different types of softwares or modern apps are available which can be used to do the references. So one is it's called the Mendeley. So Mendeley is both reference manager and the academic social network. So Mendeley is very good app. Then EndNote is also used for doing the referencing work. Then another work is called the Zotero. The Zotero is also used for that's for doing the citations or for writing the references for your research publication. So these are some important apps available for referencing purposes. Now, the first part of my presentation is over. Now, I'm coming to the second part of my presentation. Is what are the funding opportunities available in the different areas of the subjects like science, arts, commerce. So first of all, I'm going to talk about the science. As I mentioned, few funding agencies in the field of science. So one is called the DST SIR. So I'm just clicking uh, these links, and I will show you their home page and what are the current funding positions available that I will show you. The first thing is the DST SIR. So the home page is visible to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is the home page of the DST SIR research grants. You can see here the different funding grants are available. Like you can see a core research grant, then intensification of research in the high priority areas, then SIR power research grants, assistant to professional bodies and seminar symposiums. Although it's called the SIR, DST SIR. They are also giving funding for organizing the seminar and the symposium. It's a very good thing. And they're also giving the funds for attending the seminars and the conferences abroad, the form of international travel support, ITS. And there are the state university research excellence grant, it's not only restricted for the central government is university, but is also there are some specific grants for the state universities research excellence. State universities colleges can also apply for those grants, like in different field of science, like mathematical research impact, scientific support. Then there is a advanced research grant and medtech mission center for excellence. So there are different opportunities are there given by the DST SIR, Department of Science and Technology. So that's a very important thing. So the next is the DBT BIRAC. DBT means Department of Biotechnology. They are also giving very good funding for the biotechnology people. As you can see here, this is the home page of the Department of Biotechnology, BIRAC. So you can see here, like there are three important funding opportunities are there. Like one is accelerating innovation in vaginal formulation in support of women's health. So it is opens on 20th of October, and the last date is 16th of December 2025. So the topics they have given, and you just if this topic suited for you, it means let's suppose if I'm working in the field of women's health, so you can propose some problem for that particular proposals. The next there is a BIRAC announces third call for proposal under EUR scheme for BIRAC. So there are different types of proposals. Funds are given by the BIRAC. It mainly comes under DBT, Department of Biotechnology, mainly for the science people. So there is a CSIR, Science Central Science and Industrial Research, Council of Science and Industrial Research. So they are also giving very good funding for the research proposals. It's not opening item. There is some problem. And there is ICMR, Indian Council of Medical Research. They are also giving in the field of medicines. So Indian Council of Medical Research, they are also giving a good amount of funds for doing the research. And you can see here, like ICMR's task force on the establishment of reference intervals in the Indian population, a multi-centric observational cross-section study among child and there is one available. As you can see, we can explore of different types of call for proposal for fellowship for northeastern regions. Yeah, there are certain proposals given by these central agencies in the geographical areas, like for the northeast, for the south, for the west, like that. Some funding opportunities are given by those funding agencies. So this is the funding opportunities given by the ICMR. So similarly, you can see DRDO, ICR, DRDO, they mainly gives funding in the field of defense research work. Then ICR, it's Indian Council of Agriculture Research. So they are giving funds in the field of agriculture. So these are some uh, national funding agencies. They are mainly government funding agencies. They are giving good amount of money for doing the research. And along with this, there are certain private means companies or private firms are there. They are also give the fundings for doing the research. So this is some important agencies I mentioned for science. So next is for the arts and the commerce. So there are certain funding agencies that are giving funds for the arts and commerce. So one is called the ICSSR. As you can see, ICSSR basically it's the Indian Council of Social Science Research. So they are giving funds in the field of social sciences, organizing seminars, conference, conclave on GST reforms and their social economic impacts. So there is a funding is available for organizing the seminar. In different ways, they are giving the fundings for doing the research. You can see call for applications of for ICSSR senior fellowship. Then there is a postdoc fellowship available. So you can explore type of these funding agencies, and depending upon your type of your uh, research interest, you can apply where you are find yourself more relevant. So there you can apply and you will get the funds for doing the research work. So one is called the IKS. It's a very common nowadays. Indian knowledge system. They are also giving funds in the field of Indian knowledge system. So this is the website of IKS, Indian Knowledge System Division. So there are some proposals are given by some fundings are given by the IKS in the field of IKS. You can see the funding available in announcement of research proposal program for 2025-26. So you can explore the website of these funding or the granting agency, and you just see where you are finding yourself more suitable, more suited. There you can apply. Few government agencies I mentioned here, so that you can explore. Another is called the Indian Council of Historical Research. So they are giving funding in the field of history, and you can see here research projects grant for individual funding category, institutional funding category. You just explore yourself and just uh, uh, make sure whether you are eligible for those grants, and just apply. So these few funding agencies I mentioned over here in the field of arts and commerce. Now I'm showing you the list of some agencies for the at the national level who is giving the proposals. Just a minute. Now it's okay. Sorry. Is it visible to all of you? Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is the research list of funding agencies for research proposals at the national level. And as you can see here, in the field of like Iraq and nuclear sciences, Indian languages, Central Institute for Indian Languages, they are also giving funding. And Central Institute of Classical Tamil, as I told you, it's region wise they are giving funding, like for the northeast, for the south. So you can see in the number fifth, Central Institute of Classical Tamil. They are giving funding. Sometimes they just give funds for that. Consumer welfare funds are there. Council for Advancement of People's Action in Rural Technology. The part Council of Scientific and Industrial Research is, as I already mentioned there. And DRDO is the DAE, Department of Atomic Energy. They're also giving funding. DBT and DOIT, Department of Education. They also give funding. Food Processing Industry, Government of India, DNSE. So you can find there are different agencies available who give funds for doing the research. And the most important thing is that you should know your credibility. Means, what are the credentials you have with yourself, in which area you find yourself more suitable or more appropriate to credentials. So it's very important to choose only those areas. So the chance of getting funded, getting grant for that research projects will be very easy for you. So that is very important. So these are some list that I'm going with you for the yeah. There are some list of international funding agencies for research purposes. Okay. So some foreign agencies are there. They are also give the funds like Association of Asian Studies. Then there is the British Council. They give the funds. Embassy of Japan in India. So there are different international agencies are there. They also give funds for doing the research like Merck CGA Germany, then NSF National Science Foundation, the World Academy of Sciences, TIVAS, and so there are different types of there are different funding agencies in the international level. They also give the funds like there is one called the uh, Bill Gates and Miranda agency. They are also give the funds for doing the research in different areas or doing the work in different areas. So in this way, you can find different types of research grant funding agencies. This is all about from my side. If anybody has any question, any doubt, or any queries, you are free to ask.